The Grand National is a national hunt horse race held annually at Aintree Racecourse in Liverpool, England. First run in 1839. It is a handicap steeplechase over an official distance of about 4 miles and 2.5 furlongs. With horses jumping 30 fences over 2 laps. It is the most valuable jump race in Europe, with a prize fund of £1 million in 2017. An event that is prominent in British culture. The race is popular amongst many people who do not normally watch or bet on horse racing at other times of the year. The course over which the race is run features much larger fences than those found on conventional national hunt tracks. Many of these, particularly Beeches Brook, the Chair and the Canal Turn, have become famous in their own right and, combined with the distance of the event, create what has been called the ultimate test of horse and rider. The Grand National has been broadcast live on free-to-air terrestrial television in the United Kingdom since 1960. From then until 2012 it was broadcast by the BBC. Channel 4 broadcast the event between 2013 and 2016. UK broadcasting rights were transferred to ITV. From 2017. An estimated 500 to 600 million people watch the Grand National in over 140 countries. The race has also been broadcast on radio since 1927. BBC Radio held exclusive rights until 2013. TalkSport acquired radio commentary rights in 2014. Both the BBC and TalkSport currently broadcast the race in full. The most recent running of the race, in 2021, was won by Minella Times. Since 2017, the race and accompanying festival have been sponsored by Randox Health. The Grand National was founded by William Lynn, a syndicate head and proprietor of the Waterloo Hotel, on land he leased in Aintree from William Molyneux, 2nd Earl of Sefton. Lynn set out a course, built a grandstand, and Lord Sefton laid the foundation stone on the 7th of February 1829. There is much debate regarding the first official Grand National. Most leading published historians, including John Pinfold, now prefer the idea that the first running was in 1836 and was won by the Duke. This same horse won again in 1837, while Sir William was the winner in 1838. These races have long been disregarded because of the belief that they took place at Maghull and not Aintree. However, some historians have unearthed evidence in recent years that suggest those 3 races were run over the same course at Aintree and were regarded as having been Grand Nationals up until the mid-1860s. Contemporary newspaper reports place all the 1836 to 38 races at Aintree, although the 1839 race is the first described as national. To date, though, calls for the nationals of 1836 to 1838 to be restored to the record books have been unsuccessful. The Duke was ridden by Martin Beecher. The fence Beecher's Brook is named after him and is where he fell in the next year's race. In 1838 and 1839, 3 significant events occurred to transform the race from a small local affair to a national event. Firstly, the Great St. Albans Chase, which had clashed with the steeplechase at Aintree, was not renewed after 1838, leaving a major hole in the chasing calendar. Secondly, the railway, opened from Manchester to Liverpool in 1830, was linked to a line from London and Birmingham in 1839, enabling rail transport to the Liverpool area from large parts of the country for the first time. Finally, a committee was formed to better organize the event. These factors led to a more highly publicized race in 1839, which attracted a larger field of top quality horses and riders, greater press coverage, and increased attendance on race day. Over time, the first 3 runnings of the event were quickly forgotten to secure the 1839 race its place in history as the first official Grand National. It was won by rider Jem Mason on the aptly named lottery. By the 1840s, Lynn's ill health blunted his enthusiasm for Aintree. Edward Topham, a respected handicapper and prominent member of Lynn's syndicate, began to exert greater influence over the national. He turned the chase into a handicap in 1843 after it had been a weight-for-age race for the first 4 years, and took over the land lease in 1848. 1 century later, the Topham family bought the course outright. Later in the century, the race was the setting of a thriller by the popular novelist Henry Hawley Smart. For 3 years during the First World War, while Aintree Racecourse was taken over by the War Office, an alternative race was run at Gatwick Racecourse, a now disused course on land now occupied by Gatwick Airport. The first of these races, in 1916, was called the Racecourse Association Steeplechase, and in 1917 and 1918 the race was called the War National Steeplechase. The races at Gatwick are not always recognized as Grand Nationals, and their results are often omitted from winners' lists. On the day of the 1928 Grand National, before the race had begun, Tipperary Tim's jockey William Dutton heard a friend call out to him, "Billy boy, you'll only win I."